Again, I hope you've had a great week. Here in our town, we're under a heat advisory, so it's extremely hot. But God is still faithful, and He provides us a place where we can stay cool and we can stay refreshed. Today, I want to pick up where I left off several weeks ago on my seasonal journey and the things that I learned during my seasonal journey. The next thing I wanted to tell you that I learned was God gives our bodies strength to do the things that we need to do. Basically, it's when you're running on adrenaline alone, it seems like, but God gives you what you need in your body in order to do what you need to do. Psalms 103:5 said, "Who satisfies your desires with good things, so that your youth is renewed like the eagle." Isaiah 40:31 says, "But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." As I thought about these verses of Scripture and I thought about my seasonal journey, I began to remember that there were days that I would go that I hadn't eaten until really late in the day, possibly even after dark. I had gone all day, I didn't eat and I didn't drink. It wasn't because I was fasting, it was just simply because of the situation that I found myself in, that I hadn't eaten. And I went for a lot of times days like that. Sometimes it seemed like it was weeks like that. And again, it wasn't because I didn't have anyone readily available to help me or to go get what I needed. It was just simply the fact that there were so many things and that were flooding through my mind, so many things I was trying to do and take care of, that actually hunger eluded me, thirst eluded me, and I found myself basically running on adrenaline. There were times when maybe I had a few minutes to relax, but then somebody would come in or drop by or something would come up and I wasn't able to relax. I wasn't able to rest. There were those times that when I had Mama to the place where she was rested and there was no one here but me and her, and while she was sleeping, I would try to get my daily tasks done, the things that I had to do. And by the time I finished that, I found myself again, either someone came in, Mama woke up and needed help, there was or a phone call, something took place that took up all of my time. Also during this time period, there were tasks that I had to do that I never thought I would have to do. And the truth was, I never thought I could emotionally, physically, or mentally handle it. I had experienced death in my family before, but I'd never been one-on-one with someone that was going through death. There were things that came up that I never expected I would have to do. Even prior to that, before my mother suffered her first major heart attack and she was bedridden for a couple of weeks or so, extremely weak, and she had gotten to the place where she could not change herself, she could not bathe herself, and those were things I never thought I would have to do. And those were days when maybe I haven't eaten. I was too busy with other things, but yet I had to take care of those things. Maybe something came up and I needed to change her bedding. Those were all things I had to do. And even in that last week, the things that my mother was going through, my mother was dealing with, that we had to handle. And again, I don't want to give the impression I did everything by myself. I had a great support group, which was my siblings and others that came in to help. I had nieces and nephews that came in and helped. So it wasn't just me, but I'm talking about those times when it was just me, or it was my shift, or during those times when we didn't have to sit up at night with Mama, but it was me at home. Those were the things that I found myself experiencing. And there were even times when I got very little sleep. Yes, somebody might be sitting with Mama during the night, but I still couldn't sleep. or even before that, when someone didn't have to sit up with her at night, I found myself not sleeping that well because I was so concerned about hearing her if she needed me. And I've looked back now and I didn't realize how tired and how worn out I was until after my mother passed. And at that point, I found myself sleeping a lot longer at night. And it did take some time for me to get my strength back, I guess you could say. I walked around in what I called a fog for at least 2 weeks. And I didn't even realize that it was noticeable to other people until I went to an appointment some 4-5 weeks after my mother had passed. I walked into the business and the person told me, says, "Well, Debbie, you look good." It wasn't because I had makeup on, because I didn't. It wasn't that I had dressed up or anything like that. I didn't do anything special. It was the fact that God had given me rest and refreshment. He had given me that I needed to strengthen me back again. During the time when my mother needed me, God gave me the strength. That's where He gave us strength like the eagles. It's renewed day by day. And then after her passing, He again gave me strength so that I could be refreshed and renewed. God will do that for you when you trust in Him. Rely on Him today. God bless you.